stay tuned and I'm going to show you how you can make this batch of chili in under 20 minutes. Coming up next. Hello friends and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andrea and this is Dessert First. And today is one of our savory days, so I am making chili. Just your standard traditional chili, or at least traditional in what we used to make here in Missouri. I know all of you Texans out there, we say no, chili should not have beans, it should just be meat. But I like beans in my chili, so this is how Mom made it. It's super quick and easy to throw together. It's one of those meals that you can put together on a weeknight when you don't. All right, so I'm going to start off by chopping up an onion. I've got a yellow onion here. It's just kind of a medium size onion, so you can kind of see how big it is. And I'm probably just going to chop up the whole thing, so maybe. We'll see. Usually when I make chili, I don't really follow a specific recipe. I just kind of just go with it, but I'm going to try and give you fairly close amounts just so you have a frame of reference, and then you can adjust it to your own personal taste as you go along. So normally I would have said maybe, hey, you can make this in the crock pot, but honestly it goes together so fast that no crock pot is needed for this. So just get you a nice good sized pot. I've got a Dutch oven that I'm going to use. Let me see what size it is. It is a 6.5 quart. So, all right. So I'm going to get my fire on. I'm going to turn it on medium and let that get hot. And I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to the bottom of my pan. I'm just using some olive oil. So I probably put maybe a half a tablespoon worth. I don't need a lot. I'm just going to saute these onions just a little bit. Now, I am actually using pre-cooked ground beef. I cooked this off probably not even a month ago. So I just cooked it off. I didn't need the whole 2 pounds that I had. So I took 1 pound, threw it in a Ziploc, and threw it in the freezer. I like to do this just because it saves just a little bit more time. I could thaw this out and make chili. I could make another soup. I could make tacos or burritos. It just makes dinner really fast. But if you are starting out with raw ground beef, then don't add any oil. Go ahead and get your ground beef in the pot and get it cooking. And then once it is pretty much done, then you can add your onions and your garlic to that. But since this is pre-cooked, I'm going to put a little oil in there so I can get my onions sauteed. Not hot enough, almost, barely. Okay. I love these enamel Dutch oven cookers, but they do tend to discolor really bad, so it's not dirty. It's just stained from years of using it. So we're going to let that go for a few minutes, and while it does, I'm going to go ahead and open 2 cans of navy beans, and I'm going to get those drained and rinsed. So our onions are getting a little bit of color. I'm not really looking for a, a specific color amount on them. I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of garlic minced. And then I'm going to add my pre-cooked ground beef. So I'm going to use 1 package of chili seasoning. Now this chili seasoning says it seasons 2 pounds of meat, but I like my chili to actually taste like chili. So even though I have 1 pound of meat, I've got 3 cans of beans that I'm adding to this. So I want it to have a really good chili flavor. So I'm just going to add the entire thing. I've got a little can of green chilies. It is a 4-ounce can of green chilies. So I'm going to add that. You could, if you had bell peppers or maybe some poblano peppers or whatever heat you want, you could chop those up and add it. And then I've got a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. And then I'm going to add some water to this can. About a half a can. That kind of helps to get the rest of that sauce out of there and gives you a little more actual liquid. A 6-ounce can. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the entire thing. We're going to try half of that first. And then I've also got a can of diced tomatoes. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. All of the tomato sauce, the tomato paste, and the diced tomatoes have all been low sodium. So I'm just going to add some salt. And a little bit of pepper. We don't need a lot of pepper because we've got that whole pack of chili seasoning in there. Now I'm going to add my 2 cans of navy beans. And then I am going to add 1 can of pork and beans. Now, when I was young, when Mom made chili, she just always used pork and beans. And it gives it kind of a sweeter chili. So by cutting this with the regular beans, it cuts down on that sweetness. And then we're just adding the entire can to this one. We're not going to drain and rinse. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to this to get those beans out. There we go. All right. So we're just going to let this get up to temp and let it simmer. All right, so our chili is done. I added just a little bit more salt, not much, because we're going to have corn chips with them, and they're on the salty side. So, but it is done, and it's just the right consistency. So it's pretty hearty, but it's not soupy. So I think it's going to work. All right, so let's just dish up some of this chili. And we can't have chili without cheese. So I've got some grated cheddar cheese. I always keep cheddar cheese grated and in the fridge. I find it's just better if you grate it yourself. You get a better quality cheese and you get more of it for the price. And then of course we're just going to add some corn chips. And then there we have homemade chili. Super fast. It took like less than 20 minutes to make. So I hope you enjoy.